rum, raspberries, and alcohol. In 2009, astronomers exploring a giant cloud of gas and dust at the centre of the Milky Way made a surprise discovery. The cloud is packed full of a chemical known as ethyl formate, which is responsible for giving raspberries their flavour and smells like rum. On Mercury, a day is twice as long as a year. Okay. You could only survive for 2 minutes in a leaky spacesuit. Let's read more about that. Although it would definitely be unpleasant, you could survive for a couple of minutes. After around 10 seconds, you would lose consciousness. The lower pressure of the vacuum would cause your blood to boil, along with other bodily fluids, but this boiling alone would not be fatal, due to the pressure maintained by your blood vessels themselves. Gas bubbles would form in your bodily fluids, causing your body to swell up and bloat. The low humidity of space would cause you to cool down rapidly, and your eyes may freeze over. Within 1 to 2 minutes, the lack of oxygen would be deadly. The stress of the situation may make these symptoms worse. You would become oxygen deprived more quickly. A rapid decompression would cause damage to your lungs, eardrums and sinuses, along with bruising and bleeding from soft tissues. Wow, very nice. Okay. There are stars we will never be able to see. Ever since the Big Bang, most objects in space have been moving away from one another. In fact, the expansion of the universe is actually accelerating. As regions of space are whizzing away from one another at an ever-increasing rate, the first population of stars to form in the universe are now too far away for us to ever hope of seeing them, even with the best telescopes. Black holes are known for their voracious appetites. Their influence is so strong that even light can't escape their gravity. But they have a theoretical converse, called white holes. They're effectively the opposite of their dark relatives, spitting out light and matter instead of trapping it. The sun loses 1 billion kilohertz per second. Vast amounts of water have been found in space. The moon is getting farther away every year. The moon exerts a pull on Earth, causing our planet to be slightly egg-shaped. It affects water even more, creating tides and causing the oceans to pile up. To summarise, the moon is getting farther away every year. I'm not reading all that. Heat from the Big Bang is still around today. Venus spins backwards. Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system. The highest mountain discovered is the Olympus Mons, which is located on Mars. Its peak is 16 miles high, making it nearly 3 times higher than Mount Everest. Oh my god, these facts are so boring. Why is it so hard to find facts that literally everyone doesn't know already? The Sun weighs about 330,000 times more than Earth. It is about 109 times the diameter of Earth, and is so large the Earth could fit inside the Sun about 1.3 million times over. That is pretty amazing. The Sun is so gigantic that it contains 99.8% of all mass in our solar system. I find that really hard to believe, but wow. Earth is the only planet not named after a god. Nobody knows how Earth got its name. All we know is that it's derived from an old amalgamation of both the Old English and Old Germanic words for ground. is smaller than the United States. If you were to walk around the equator of Pluto, it would be the same distance as walking from London to Denver. Wow. There are more stars in space than there are grains of sand in the world. A day on Pluto lasts for 153 hours. Only 5% of the universe is visible from Earth. 68% of the universe is dark energy and 27% is dark matter. Both of these are invisible even with a telescope, which means you're only able to see 5% of the universe. If you were driving at 75 miles per hour, it would take 258 days to drive around Saturn's rings. Outer space is only 62 miles away. Although there is no official solid boundary for where space begins, the Kármán line sits at 62 miles above sea level and is conventionally used as the start of outer space in treaties or for records. We always see the same side of the moon no matter where we stand on Earth. There are approximately 100,000 million stars in the Milky Way. In 2016, scientists detected a radio signal from a source 5 billion light years away. We are not the only living beings in the universe. That means that when the signal started its journey, Earth didn't even exist. Wow, that's creepy. The closest galaxy to us is the Andromeda Galaxy. It's estimated at 2.5 million light years away. The first ever black hole photographed is 3 million times the size of Earth. The photo was released in April 2019 and shows a halo of dust and gas 310 million trillion miles from Earth. Our moon is moving away from Earth at a rate of 1.6 inches per year. I'm going to Google a scary fact about space because these facts are pretty generic. Wow, okay. The next planet we colonize could be Hell. Gliese 581c, remember that name, because it could be your new home. Scientists have concluded that this hellish planet is the most likely destination for future colonization. Orbiting a red dwarf star much smaller than our own sun, Gliese 581c is almost completely hostile to human life. Because of its close proximity to its sun, the planet is stuck in a state of tidal locking, which means that it doesn't spin while it orbits. As a consequence, half of this planet is perpetually staring down the sun, while the other half is in utter darkness. Only a tiny vertical belt of the planet is potentially inhabitable by man, and it is on this belt where the proposed colonization would take place. One rock flying through space can wipe out mankind. What the? We all know that. Debris is rife in space, while most of it is harmless to us on Earth. Terrifyingly, it takes only a rock with a width of 0.6 miles to threaten our entire species' existence. Even smaller rocks of around 130 feet can cause our planet cataclysmic damage. Thankfully, scientists are able to watch the skies for potential threats headed our way and take necessary defensive measures. Has anyone seen Don't Look Up? That's one of my favourite films. There is a star 1,500 times the size of the sun, dwarfing our own sun by almost 1,500 times. VY Canis is a titan among stars. It would take an aeroplane 1,000 years to circle VY Canis Majoris once. If one were to replace our own sun with this behemoth, its surface would extend out past the orbit of Saturn. Supermassive black holes are as scary as you'd think. You can't see a black hole directly. There is probably a huge supermassive black hole lurking in our galaxy. Stellar black holes, the most common type, are known to be 20 times more massive than our own sun. Going near a black hole would turn a human being into something resembling spaghetti. Again, we all know that. There are real shooting stars, and they are terrifying. Shooting stars are just burning comets entering our atmosphere, right? Wrong. There are real shooting stars called hypervelocity stars, which are moving through space at more than 1 million miles per hour. Is it headed this way? Best hope not. Okay. Let's try a different website. Something we cannot see may be tilting the entire universe. There is something in the space between the constellations of Centaurus and Vela that is pulling groups of galaxies toward it. This mystery thing is too far away for us to see, but we can observe the galaxy clusters are moving toward it at extraordinary speeds. Scientists surmise that the thing could be so big it's essentially tilting the universe. Space has a smell, apparently. Astronauts who return from spacewalks report an otherworldly odour clinging to their spacesuits. According to astronaut Thomas Jones, outer space carries a distinct odour of ozone, a faint acrid smell like gunpowder. Oh, there are dead animals orbiting the Earth. In the early days of space exploration, non-human test pilots were shot up into space regularly, sometimes with no thought of how they might return. Some of the animals returned safely, some died on re-entry, but some flew on crafts that have never been recovered, so they are likely to still be up there, floating in dead spacecrafts orbiting the Earth. Space has attacked Earth and could again. Again, common knowledge, really. Most space terrors happen very far from you in space and time, but not the Carrington event. This geomagnetic storm happened on Earth in 1859, when a coronal mass ejection from the sun hit our planet. Strange, colourful auroras brighter than the moon were seen all over the planet, and telegraph machines everywhere failed, with some reporting that they burst into flames. If a similar event happened now, and it could at any time, our entire power and communication grid would be knocked out in an instant. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Someone asked the question, is it scarier to think that we're completely alone in the universe, or is it scarier if we're not alone? That's interesting. I personally think that there is other life since the universe is infinite, as far as we know. I think it's very possible that we are not the only life force in the universe. Someone said, if you're freaked out by potential alien life, there's approximately 300 million habitable planets in our Milky Way galaxy. Given there are hundreds of billions of galaxies, there must be intelligent life out there somewhere. You cannot have space without time, or time without space. Space and time are aspects of the single construct called space-time. If you travel past the speed of light, you'd go backwards in time. After trillions of years, only black holes will remain. There will be no light left in the universe. What little light there might be won't be visible because eventually space itself will be expanding so fast that it exceeds the speed of light. At least we believe. strangelets. A hypothetical particle that we might find in the cores of neutron stars. If they do exist, these might be the most stable matter in existence, and therefore might be the most dangerous substance in the universe. If one were to strike Earth, it could turn that matter into further strangelets, creating a chain reaction that would result in the Earth being turned into one big strangelet. They might actually be the dark matter that we suspect holds galaxies together. On an interstellar scale, humanity is practically invisible. The radio signals that we transmit into outer space may extend over an impressive 200 light years, but this is only a tiny fraction of the Milky Way. Even if someone were listening, after a few light years, our signals would decay into noise, impossible to identify as the source of an intelligent species. Hypervelocity stars travel the galaxy at 1,000 kilometers a second. They're made when one star in a binary system gets sucked into the supermassive black hole in the middle of a galaxy. Our solar system is surrounded by an 89,000 degree Fahrenheit orb of plasma created by the interaction between the sun and interstellar winds. This creates a 100 million miles wide sausage-shaped bubble known as the heliosphere, and it protects the solar system from harmful cosmic